Hello, hello, everyone.
Hey, what's going on? Are we here on the screen? Oh my goodness, we
Yeah.
are on the screen, aren't we? Okay, hey, what's up? Hey everyone, it's Matt and Steph from Insymmetry Creations, and we are here for the end of the Misfits Clubhouse All the Shenanigans So Far campaign. So we are going to jump straight into the Misfits campaign video. We are going to make sure the stuff is shared out right because Facebook and StreamYard don't like each other. And so right now, there's not a whole lot of people that are actually able to see this. We're going to play the video, and then we are going to talk about the campaign.
It's time for Misfits Clubhouse. All the shenanigans so far. Come join me, you fairy, Swampy, and Sting for all of their ridiculous adventures. It's 10 stories, nearly 100 pages in one awesome book. Along the way, you'll meet characters like the Asparagus Guy, Link Oz, Captain Bluebeard, the Bully Boy, Adverse McTutherson, Aquatic Investigator, and even crazier ones like Snowflake, Dark Ruby, and so many more. So if you're a human person that likes humor, fun, and laughter, then you need Misfits Clubhouse. All the shenanigans so far in your life.
Going on an unexpected adventure!
All right, so now we're back at where we actually want to be as far as size goes. We were too big before. So let's get right down to it. We have got 56 minutes left, 83 backers. We're at 29.29. As you see on the ticker right going across at the bottom, $3,000 and 100 backers. Either one of them gets us to a stretch goal. So at 3,000, we have to give away a Bruce McTutherson metal cover that we would normally be selling for $60. On the campaign, we put 5 up there that we would sell for $45. If we sold those 5, we would go up to $50. But we decided for the campaign to just do 5 of them at $45. We've already sold 3 of those 5. If we get to 3,000, then we have to go do another one of them. And we're going to print that up and give it away on a future live stream to one of our physical backers. So, Steph, do you think that is crazy and insane and crazy that we are going to be giving away a $60 item just to try and get to $3,000?
No.
That's right. Anybody that knows us knows that's the kind of stuff that we do. All right, we got a couple people already in the chat. Mordrax Places, aka Wade, says you have arrived. Joey Galvez says, cool trailer. Good. I'm glad you dig that, Joey. Hopefully you are a human person that enjoys fun, laughter, and humor. It looks like everything is showing out where it's supposed to. So yeah, if you're in the chat, make sure you let us know so that way we can hang out with you. We can shout you out. If you're somebody that has a campaign of your own, make sure you let us know that you're in there so that way we can shout out your campaign as well. So again, we are at 29.29 with 54 minutes left. Only $71 more. That's literally like a cup of coffee for 3 days in a row. As expensive as prices are right now, that's like 3 days worth of coffee. Could get us to 3,000. You could get a Peace, Love, and Slothiness shirt or socks, or a Don't Mess With Our Crew socks, or you can get a cool Emily Reset Mario Kart homage cover. You could get all kinds of stuff. Oh, looks like we just got another backer. There we go. Cool. So now we're only at $61. $61. And we will make it to that $3,000 level. So good stuff. So let's see here. So, Steph, do you, off the top of your head, if you don't know, that's fine, but off the top of your head, what is your favorite part of what we've done with this campaign? It could be a merch, it could be a cover, it could be a story, it could be just something we've done. What's your favorite thing about this Misfits Clubhouse, All the Shenanigans So Far campaign?
I don't know. No idea. It's all fun.
Well, the thing that I like about it is we were really nervous about launching this campaign. It's been a while since we were able to actually get something Misfits Clubhouse released. We've been doing some of the episodes on Webtoon Canvas, but a new physical release has been quite a while since it's actually happened. And so we weren't sure what the reception was going to be. So to me, I think it's just been nice being able to see people actually really take to it and really enjoy the campaign, have fun with it. They love the video. They've really loved that Emily's Mario Kart cover. We'll go and show that thing here really quick. They really seem to gravitate towards Emily's Mario Kart cover. Just it seems like people have had fun with it. This type of title is really difficult to be able to fund on a Kickstarter campaign, and really tough to get people behind it. So we're actually glad to see that. I'm glad to see that people have actually really enjoyed it being up there. So we got a couple more comments. Mordrax Places guy showed the tie-dye shirt. Go show the tie-dye shirt to your sister. Guaranteed she'll want one. Mine sure did. So we actually unveiled this right here. We unveiled the Peace, Love, and Slothiness tie-dye shirt and socks. Every physical backer is going to get one of the stickers. And you've got the shirt, the stickers. You've got a lavender color version as well that you can get. So you can get all those different things in the campaign, which just makes it fun. Makes it fun having silly merch. With having titles like Heirs of Isildur and Tales from Nocturnia, I Am Keto, the upcoming Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, this isn't normally the type of merchandise you'd see for those titles. So it's fun being able to do silly stuff like that. So Mordrax again says, Matt, we did it again, 3 different streams, and somehow we wore the same shirt. So I think you're seeing the shirt that I'm wearing, Wade, and you're going back and wearing it yourself, so you can say that. That's what I think. Either that or great minds think alike. So we'll end up going through the stuff in the campaign here again soon. Give me just a second. Steph, why don't you talk about the show that we just did, Spookalla, talk about how much fun we had at that show. Any specific guests that stand out to you? I mean, I know your favorite people were the Jurassic Park people, so we're going to talk about how that went down. I'm going to try to make sure we got this shared out a couple more times.
Yeah, Spookalla was great. It was fun. The celebrity guests were great. We had a great time. Yeah, there was the Jurassic Park actors, Ariana Richards, Joseph Mazzello, B.D. Wong. They were all really nice. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, celebrity guests were great. It was fun.
Yeah, we only had 1,000 or 2,000 people in attendance. So that was they really people really loved their Jurassic Park. I wasn't sure how that was going to go over at a horror convention. I knew it was going to be successful, but I didn't realize it was going to be as successful as it was. So it made me happy that so many people, Steph included, really enjoyed being able to see the first ever reunion of the Jurassic Park kids. That was really freaking cool to me. So Joey Galvez says he wants to see Matt in a tie-dye hat and shirt to match. So you can't see this hat very well, but I'm going to come down here. So this shirt isn't really tie-dye, but I think it's kind of close. It's kind of galactic. But dude, I wouldn't have a problem whatsoever with wearing one of our tie-dye shirts on the stream. Well, I'll do that. I'll do that during when we do the Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress campaign. I'll wear one of these shirts during that just for the sake of doing it. What do you think of that? All right, so I just shared it out to a couple other places, see if anybody else wants to come and hang, share their campaigns, talk about what they have going on. Again, we are now at $61, just $61. Oh, yes, we are less than $61 because it looks like we just had somebody else back in the campaign. So we are now at $49 away from getting to that 3,000 level, so that we are going to be forced forced, I say, to have to give away a metal cover. So for those of you that have not seen this campaign before, those of you that have not seen what's in it, we will, Joey just said, I need a tie-dye top hat. I'll tell you right now, I would wear a tie-dye top hat in a minute. We already have, Steph and I already have matching tie-dye outfits that we wear that are pretty big hits at some of the live events. But finding a top hat that's tie-dye is not easy. Not easy at all, finding one that's going to be like that. But I would definitely do that. John Westhoff says, great finish. John actually crushed it in his last campaign, his LCS campaign. He crushed that thing. And at the end, I was really impressed with his backer count. I mean, John, didn't you get near 1 million backers on that campaign? I mean, maybe it wasn't that many, but it was a lot. It was a lot. So real quick, while we're sitting here again, we're now at 2951, 85 backers. I mean, if we were had a giant number of backers show up at the end, we might get to that 100 backer incentive. But right now, we're most concerned with getting to that 3,000. But we're also most concerned with making sure you guys get the cool merch in your hands. Yes, we want to get to that number. But the reason we want to get to that number is because we really believe in the stories that are in here. We believe in Mickey, Fairy, Slothy, and Stig, all the crazy side characters, and the merch and the products. We've got Bruce McTutherson poker chips. We've got all kinds of fun stuff like that. So, Steph, I'm going to put this thing back before we go to the campaign. I'm going to put it back to where it's just the two of us. And you said you got a friend, a special guest joining us on that side, correct?
I think so. I don't know.
What is Bruce around?
Yeah, Bruce is here. This is Bruce.
All right, so for anyone that hasn't seen it, that is the original Bruce McTutherson. So Bruce literally sits there ogling Steph all day long, every day when we're on video chat and we're doing our work. Bruce is just sitting in the back, holding his surfboard, hanging out. So do you want to give people a little bit of a backstory on why Bruce McTutherson, Aquatic Investigator, why Bruce McTutherson even exists, and then we'll talk about the Aquatic Investigator part.
Well, I love sharks. Jaws is my favorite movie, and for those that don't know, at the time it was sort of an animatronic shark that was used in the movie. Steven Spielberg named him Bruce, named after his lawyer. So a few years ago, I mean, honestly, it was probably before COVID times. My kids and I went to Build-A-Bear, and it was Shark Week. And that's one of my favorite weeks of the year. And they were having sharks that you could make. And we made one and named him Bruce McTutherson. And he's been kind of like a mascot ever since, and somehow worked his way. Matt allowed me to have a character name into the story of Misfits. And
he became Bruce McTutherson, Aquatic Investigator. And I don't remember how that kind of started, but I know that once it did, it just was one of those snowballing sessions. And just next thing you know, here's this side character that's their favorite little episodic adventure that the Misfits watch, Mickey, Fairy, Slothy, and Stig. Okay. So, with that being said, Bruce, there is some controversy. There is some controversy that has popped into the Bruce McTutherson world. And that is that Bruce found out that just the other day that you found another Bruce, maybe his relative, to put your mitts on. So Steph is well known for having some fun adventures when it comes to her travels. And she had multiple flights get delayed or canceled. And you know, when you've got a connector flight, it's never a good thing when you find out that your first flight is supposed to take off after your second flight is supposed to take off. And that happened not once, not 3 times, but twice during this last trip for Spookalla. So
I feel like it was more than twice, but there was also cancellations. It was basically, yes. It was definitely more than twice. It was,
yeah.
rescheduled flights that got rescheduled, that got rescheduled, that got canceled and rescheduled and rescheduled and canceled and so on and so forth. It was definitely more than once. It was
probably
a 3, 4, 5 times
total
of cancellations and or reschedules.
It was definitely a mess. And so what happened on Tuesday, she had her flights on Monday that basically got canceled, got rescheduled for early Tuesday morning. So because her flights got canceled early enough in the day on Monday, we drove back to my place on Monday night, hung out here, did some stuff. And then we're like, we'll just drive back early in the morning on Tuesday. So drive back early in the morning on Tuesday and get stuck in Tampa traffic. And while we are stuck in Tampa traffic, she gets that dreaded announcement of her current flight was going to be one of those.
8 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, before 8 a.m. in the morning. So she was able to get a hold of Delta and got her flight rescheduled for the afternoon. But now we're in overcast Tampa at 7:45 in the morning and didn't really have anything to do. We literally I think I pooped in 4 different bathrooms across Tampa on that morning. We went to IKEA just to walk around and found a bin of all these big sharks. So Steph decided she was going to hold this one. She wanted to get, a picture with the shark. And I'm like, let's see how many Bruce McToothersons you can actually hold. And so we figured out that Steph's arms were capable of holding 4 Bruce McToothersons at one time. And I'm not sure if the original Bruce McTootherson or Bruce McTootherson Aquatic Investigator have chimed in yet about what they think about you with your mitts all over these Bruces. But
this Bruce is a little jealous, I think, because he's the OG.
He is the OG. He is the OG.
Don't want to see me hugging any other sharks down.
But we had fun with that. But yeah, those are just some silly pictures that we took when we were gallivanting around, Tampa, just trying to find things to do at 7:45 in the morning. I never thought that I'd be like, you know what we can do? Let's go to the food court at the mall at 8 o'clock in the morning because they might have a bathroom that's open. But sure enough, they did. But I mean, that's literally where we were at that point after we got out of the stupid Tampa traffic. Anyways, that's a little side note about Bruce. But now we're going to go back and take a look at the campaign again because there is something about Bruce that you want to see in the campaign. So again, we're at 29.51, 85 backers, just $49 away from the stretch goal at $3,000, which is the Peter Raimundo metal cover of. So that was on Sharks, Dragons, Little Red Wagons. We did the Peter Raimundo Bruce McTootherson cover. So when we did it, there was no metal cover version. We've never done a metal cover for Misfits of any kind ever. And Peter Raimundo is a great friend of ours. For those of you that don't know, Peter Raimundo probably animated your childhood, worked on The Lion King, Lilo and Stitch, Mulan, Emperor's New Groove, and a whole host of others for Disney during its golden age of animation. So we decided that we were going to offer in this campaign some metal covers of this. So if you order this, if you get this, you're going to get the Sharks, Dragons, Little Red Wagons 32-page campaign, or 32-page issue where that metal cover is going to be. It's not going to be on the 100-page, all the shenanigans so far. It's going to be that. So I got a little message here. So check this out. Look at this. So look at that. So in the chat, just had my boy Samuel Ballinger say, and I'll tell you who Samuel Ballinger is in just a second. Refresh your Kickstarter page, Matt. You're awesome. Keep up the commitment. Glad to know you, brother. So Sam Ballinger is a soccer player, an adult soccer player, but he's also an adult soccer official. And he just joined our association that I do high school games with this year. So if you saw any of the pictures this year where I was doing state playoff games, I think that he was on the one where we did the #1 team in the country. The girls team, Sam was a part of that crew. So if you saw any of those pictures, Sam was in that crew. So Sam, look at that. Sam Ballinger just jumped in, Steph, and he just put us over 3,000. So what that means is this. What that means is that at some point in the future, when we're doing our live streams, We are going to take all of our physical backers for this campaign, and we are going to put their names in a top hat, and we are going to pull a name, and any physical backer is going to have an opportunity to get that Bruce McTutherson, Peter Raimundo metal cover added to their haul. So you might pay $25 with shipping, and you might walk out of here with a $60 item. How cool is that? Sam said, good memory about those soccer games. Keep up the awesome work in Symmetry Creations. So that's good stuff. All right. So again, we've made 3,000. 3,000 is great. That doesn't mean that that's where we want to end. If you guys are out there and you haven't joined the campaign, we absolutely want to see this thing finish strong at the end. We want to see everyone join the campaign because we believe in this campaign. We believe in this book. It's a fun book. It's the thing where we get to like let our hair down and just be silly. We'll tell you about the stories that are in this campaign. So you see here, you see Beware of Slothzilla. So Slothzilla is something that you guys have never seen before. Slothzilla is actually in one of the stories that is brand new to this book. So there's 3 stories that are brand new to this book. You've got Glitch in the Matrix. That's also where the image at the very beginning of the campaign is at, which is that's Darth Bluebeard, which is a glitched version of Captain Bluebeard. You've got Slothzilla, and there's a bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of other movie references in there. How about this stuff? Out of those movie references, is Slothzilla or Darth Bluebeard, are one of those two your favorite, or is there somebody else or something else in that story that is your favorite? You don't have to say what it is. Just, is there some other glitch that happens in there that you like more than those two?
I mean, I'm a Star Wars fan, so Darth Bluebeard is always fun.
I think we had fun. I had fun with the version of Slothy in the Star Wars story. We also have another movie that made its way in there that people may not even know. We also Indiana Jones makes a little cameo in there. Maybe it's Stiggiana Jones. We had all kinds of fun with that. I liked Fairy's role in that story. Fairy's role in that story was fun. But let's take a quick look at the stories. Again, we're at $3,001 now. Boom. So we just jumped over that 3,000 mark. 14 backers away from the backer count. May not make that one, but you know what? There's some other things that are basically unspoken goals that if we got to would make us quite happy if we got to. If we got over 3021, there's a reason why that would make us happy, because I think that's where we're at on our last Misfits Clubhouse campaign was 3021. So if we got to 3022, that would just put us over that last campaign, which would be good, especially with everything going on economically, especially with all the competition and the changes that are going on with Kickstarter. To actually be able to be at that point is huge. So I'm going to pull up the screen with the story. Steph, do you want to go through that, or do you want me to talk about the stories?
You can talk about it.
Okay. So to start the campaign, or to start the book, we've got 10 stories that are in the book right now. You've got I Don't Want Any Asparagus, which was the pilot story that without Richard Rivera, there would be no Misfits Clubhouse. Richard Rivera is the one who challenged us to write Misfits Clubhouse. And he's the one that got us thinking along the lines of all ages and fun and silly and nonsensical. And without that push, then we probably never would have done this. Pinball Madness. The kids get trapped in a pinball machine and they have to play their way out. That's probably our most popular single story in Misfits. Dress Up Mess Up, to this point, has only been available in a Kickstarter version. It was never available in the distribution version. So that was only available in the one issue that was done Kickstarter-wise. Beach Bash Bonanza has a lot of cameo appearances that are near and dear to Steph's heart that made their way into that story. Besides, and I'm not even talking about Captain Bluebeard. You want to say who's in there, Steph, or you want to just leave that for people to read it?
I mean, we can leave it for people to find out.
That's right. They are listed in the back of the book, but there's some fun ones that are near and dear to Steph's heart in that one. Morty McFeathers is missing. Morty McFeathers is missing is the mascot, Morty McFeathers of the Misfits Clubhouse, and he comes up missing, and we find out he's been on some adventures of his own, some unexpected adventures, and how he got there is pretty interesting. Old Man Willow, you see a version of Old Man Willow on the cover of this issue. He's actually a dragon, or is he a dragon? We don't really know. But there's a lot of rumors about this old decrepit house on the street and who the occupant might be. Then we talked about Bruce McTutherson, aquatic investigator. Think Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids going back to their clubhouse, so that way they can watch the Brown Hornet. Same exact thing. Mickey, Fairy, and Slothy and Stig go back to the treehouse so they can flip open the tablet or put, or their laptop so they can watch the newest episode of Bruce McTutherson. So Bruce McTutherson is probably the breakout character of Misfits Clubhouse outside of Mickey, Fairy, Slothy, and Stig. Barrel Peril was a story that was in one of the issues, and we have a bunch of fun drawn-in characters, including Steph's own mom and my dad both made it way in there, and my daughter Cameron all made their way into that story, along with some other people that got themselves drawn into the issue. Talent Show Off is a brand new story. That is the origins of the Don't Mess With Our Crew cover, where you see Fairy and Slothy in ways you've never seen them before. And then Glitch in the Matrix is the story that has got Slothzilla and Darth Bluebeard and the Indiana Jones homage and all that. And you're like, but Matt, Steph, that's only 10 stories. Well, we had people asking if they could get drawn into the issue, and we didn't really have a way to do that. So we're like, well, fine. If we get to a certain stretch goal, we'll add another story. We have a quick little story that's going to be called Problem Solvers, where the drawn-ins are going to be able to happen. That's going to be a fun story we're going to be able to add into the book. So that's where the 100 pages and 11 stories comes in. So we were just told by the aforementioned Richard Rivera that we needed to go refresh the campaign. Okay, so now we're at 3032. Look at that. So now we're at 3032. So we have eclipsed 3,000. We've eclipsed 3021. So now we are past the last Misfits Clubhouse campaign we did, which is great. I don't think that either Steph or I felt like making it past 3,000 was something that was even something we were shooting for when we launched this campaign. So to see the campaign at that point is pretty freaking makes us pretty happy. So let's see here. Let's take a look. Here's some of the other characters that you would see in this. You've got the Asparagines. We've already talked about Captain Bluebeard, Bruce McTutherson. You've got the Bully Boys, something we talked about, little insider news from the other day. The Bully Boys, when they were put into their first story, didn't really have names. They were just named the Bully Boys. It took us till a little bit later on that we actually wanted to do more with the characters that we actually named them. So that the one right there in the green shirt, that is Fritz Rhubarb. The guy with the calculator is Johnny Buttons, and then their pal there is Melvin X Melvin. So that's the Bully Boys. Then you've also got Bling Paws the Alien. So I am a huge fan of Grays and Greens. This past weekend at Spookala, got to be up there with Thomas Jane, the original Punisher, and Steph in her original research, because that's how we do it. Steph starts the research before I get onto the stage. She starts it, and then we build upon it, and then that turns into the panels on stage. She's like, you're going to love this dude because he's all about aliens. He loves talking aliens. So we talked aliens for probably half the panel. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. So every one of those characters in some way, shape, or form shows up in more than one story. It could be their normal version. It could be another version, but every one of our side characters shows up in more than one story, which is pretty fun. So let's go double check. Let's go back over here to the comments. We've got DM Ray. DM, throw your campaign links. DM Ray, he just launched his campaign the other day. He's got a fun-looking D&D version campaign. He said, yo. Sarah White, who we just spoke to about Goonies, which was super fun. We did a Goonies thing with Sarah. She said, go and sim. Richard said, yeah, boy. Richard, let us know if that's the correct pronunciation. And Joey Galvez said, congrats. So we're going to roll up here again, refresh one more time. So, Steph, I have a question for you. because there could be somebody that is happening upon this video and they've never seen this before. I feel like before this is done, which is right now, we need to show our 1 minute and 11-second campaign video one more time because people may have never seen it. Do you think that's what we should do?
Sure.
All right, here we go with the Misfits Clubhouse All the Shenanigans So Far campaign video that we really had fun making and being silly with.
It's time for Misfits Clubhouse. All the shenanigans so far. Come join Mickey, Barry, Swampy, and Sting for all of their ridiculous adventures. It's 10 stories, nearly 100 pages in one awesome book. Along the way, you'll meet characters like the Asparagus, Link Oz, Captain Bluebeard, the Bully Boy, and Bushman Toothlerson, Aquatic Investigator, and even crazier ones like Slow Suit, Dark Bluebeard, and so many more. So if you're a human person that likes humor, fun, and laughter, then you need Misfits Clubhouse. All the shenanigans so far in your life.
Going on an unexpected adventure!
All right, so it's Matt and Steph here from In Symmetry Creations. We are here for the countdown party, the end of campaign live stream party for Misfits Clubhouse, all the shenanigans so far. If you guys are in the comments and you know anything about Misfits Clubhouse or you've just seen the campaign, tell us in the comments what character you think looks like the most fun. It could be, doesn't matter who it is, Mickey, Fairy, Slothy, Stig, could be one of the side characters. What something you think looks like the funnest, what the character is that is your favorite, the one that you think is going to be the best, most enjoyable, the one that you want to see on merch. Tell us in the comments who you like. We'll make sure to shout you guys out. So let's, while we're waiting for some comments to pop up, let us go down and take a quick look at the merchandise and other covers. We've already showed you the Peace, Love, and Slothiness merch. Because of stretch goals, all you guys were going to be getting the Misfits Clubhouse cart sticker, and you're also going to be getting a Peace, Love, and Slothiness sticker. This is something I've wanted to do for a while. So for us to be able to actually get it into this campaign and have it in a way that people seem to be excited about makes me happy. You know, am I a hippie? I'm absolutely not a hippie, but I feel like Slothy actually makes a good hippie. I think something we could also ask you guys is, you know, which is your favorite version of Slothy you've seen? You got the Peace, Love, and Slothiness version, Slothzilla, you've got Don't Mess With Our Crew Slothy, or just normal old fun time Slothy. So while you guys are telling us who your favorite Misfits Clubhouse characters are, once again, you've got an add-on. You'd have to go take to your pledge and go add on the, listen, I'm literally talking about it on the campaign page and not even showing it. My bad. You've got the Peace, Love, and Slothiness tie-dye shirt, the tie-dye socks, the lavender color shirt, and then you've also got the sticker there. So this is the first time we've done two different pairs of socks in a single campaign. We just had two different things for Misfits that looked like they were going to be fun for sock purposes. And we're like, why are we going to wait? Let's make them happen now. Let's get these socks, get them in this campaign, get them on our tables at shows, and go from there. So the other stuff we had, so the first 40 physical backers got a holographic Captain Bluebeard in normal, regular form sticker. All right, so hold on. Here we go. We haven't looked at this yet. So there's our Slothy. Slothy saw some little goodies on the other side of the fence that he wanted to reach, and he couldn't get there. So I don't have the graphic made up for it yet, but I think, Steph, do you think by hitting that 3,000 goal, that Slothy's arms are going to be just long enough to touch those things at the bottom?
I think so.
I think so too. I think you guys did a darn good job of getting Slothy's arms to reach the little goodies that are over there on the other side. So as you see, you guys added 4 more pages of the book, 11 stories. You added stickers. You added the unlocked items. You unlocked the Bruce McTutherson Aquatic Investigator Peter Raimundo metal cover, first time ever on that metal cover. So good stuff there. So here is cover A. We haven't looked at the covers, but on the cover A, that is called Daredevils. So if you look at that cover, you've got Miki, Fairy, Slothy, and Stig in the cart. You've got the dragon, which is Old Man Willow, blowing some fire, so they show they're truly daredevils. You got Bruce McTutherson holding up the ramp. In the water, you can see on the right-hand side, you've got the Bully Boys. You've got Fritz and Melvin X Melvin and Johnny Buttons in the water, pretty upset with Old Man Willow. On the other side, you've got some of our more nautical-based characters like Captain Bluebeard, and you've got Sergeant Waldron and Detective Salamone from Bruce McTutherson's story. And then you've got 3, but actually 4 knuckleheads rolling down the hill there in barrels. You've got Steph, and you've got me. And then right behind us, you've got Raheel Mohsen and his creative director, Courage, that's also on his shoulders. Courage is Raheel's cat. And literally, if you go to Raheel's webpage, I think Courage has his own bio on the page. It's actually pretty funny. Then you've got our Mario Kart homage done by Emily Reset. This is the 3rd homage cover that Emily's done for us. So she took Mario Kart characters and mashed them up with our characters. You see Stig is now mashed with Mario into Super Stigio. You've got Princess Peach is now Princess Meeks. In the background, you've got Birdo mashed up with Bruce, so it's Sharko. Going over the edge, you've got Dry Bones mashed up with Captain Bluebeard. So that's my personal favorite. Dry Bones is back there. But that actually has proved to be probably our most popular homage cover so far. We've done some good ones. We've done some good homage covers. I know what Steph's favorite homage cover is. And that one is our most popular one it shows right now, which is the Nightmare Before Christmas homage that we did for Heirs of Isildur, the Perilous Prospects 3. We actually did an outdoor show with Chess and Gwyn in Hanford, California, where we were right on the side of the road where people could just have their side of the road parking. And I will never forget, lady came up, bought some stuff from us, hopped in her car, left. A couple minutes later, she rolled back around, skirt into the parking spot, hopped back out. She's like, I was thinking about it. I told my mom she had to come back up here. I had to get that cover. So she literally is like a drive-by purchasing of our Nightmare Before Christmas cover. So that was pretty fun.
It was definitely not side of the road. It was downtown in front of the store.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely.
I don't want
Okay.
to disparage the facility that hosted us by saying that they threw us on the side of the road. That's definitely not how it was. But
It was a sidewalk sale because there were so many vendors. We were on the sidewalk in the downtown area doing a sidewalk show in front of
definitely not
DJ.
a favorite, like fruit stand.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a fruit stand. No. It was definitely it was a sidewalk sale because of the number of vendors in front of DJ's Collectibles.
Definitely want to go back to DJ's one day. So it was definitely not side of the road. It was
no. DJ's was great. DJ's was great.
It was very nice. It was a successful show.
Yeah, for sure. DJ's was great. It was just even more great because I can tell you right now, I can't remember at any point where somebody just literally parked their car, rolled right up to go get something that they were thinking about that they couldn't live without, and that was awesome. This is our Don't Mess With Our Crew cover that has got Fairy and Slothy in ways you've never seen them before. That is the other pair of socks. The original pair of socks in this campaign is the Don't Mess With Our Crew socks. They are not crew cut socks. They are normal calf socks, but they are Don't Mess With Our Crew. Then for the first time ever, we did a sketch cover. We've had coloring covers for Misfits, but we've never had a sketch cover. So we decided, why not? Who cares if it's a 100-page book? We know there's people that are going to want to get it for their kids, and they're going to want to draw their own cover. They're going to want us to draw some nonsensical crap on the cover. We'll do that. Color in the logo on your own. Hey, if you do a great cover, maybe next time we do something, we might put that in the back gallery. Who that knows? Who knows? We'll do it one of those days. For those of you that have never seen art from inside the issue, here's a couple of sample pages. This is a sample of Rahil's unbelievable art from Beach Bash Bonanza. Then here's a page from Bruce McTutherson, Aquatic Investigator. One thing that you'll notice about Bruce here, which is totally different than the Bruce that Steph holds in her hands. The OG Bruce is very well coordinated, and he never commits a mistake, an accident like that. But the Bruce McTutherson Aquatic Investigator version is a complete bumbling idiot that causes more chaos, causes just as much chaos as he does solve crimes. So, will he solve the crime before he messes up the investigation is basically the rub for Bruce McTutherson Aquatic Investigator. And then last but not least, a page from one of the most popular stories in the Misfits world, Pinball Madness. Steph, if you had to pick a favorite story from Misfits, do you have a specific story that sticks out to you that is your favorite in the book?
I do like Morty McFeathers is Missing. I think it's a lot of fun. Pinball Madness is fun. I mean, it's like picking your favorite kid. It's difficult to pick, but and I do love the Bruce side stories.
I will tell you one of the things that I really liked about Morty McFeathers is Missing, that you bring that up. So for those of you that don't know, we have vertical scroll variations of the stories that drop normally weekly. We're probably going to take a couple of weeks off after the campaign, but we are able to take the stories and convert them into vertical scroll. And by doing that, you see different parts of the art that maybe weren't able to be seen previously come to the forefront. There are some panels that need dialogue changes. And I think Morty McFeathers is probably the story that had the most changes, altered dialogue, added dialogue, extra things in the story. Just the printed version of it needed to be one way. The vertical scroll version needed it to be a different way. And that was actually one of the most fun conversions of a Misfit story that we've done. So if you're a fan, if you're somebody that's on Webtoon, and you've never gone over there and looked at the Misfits Clubhouse vertical scroll stories, you might want to go take a look at it. Those things are actually pretty fun. It's another way for us to be able to get the story out in a different IP and a different medium to be able to help spread the word of the Misfits. We're going to go back up in just a second. We've got about 15 minutes left in the campaign. A couple last minute things here. There are some larger tiers like the Draw Me In tier where you get all of the covers. You get the crew socks, you get the poker chip, and you get drawn in. This is just a one-panel cameo. We figured out a fun way to draw people in. We do have a special surprise that's going to be in there as well. It's going to be super awesome. You've got 4 different pairs of socks we've done for Misfits, which crazily enough, Misfits has got 4 socks to the other IPs. I've gotten 5 total for Heirs of Isildur, I Am Keto, and Tales from Nocturna. There's 4 for Misfits, 5 for the other ones. So I guess Misfits just lends itself to sillier socks than the other titles do. Then if you're a collector, we've got the different versions of the issues. You can get one of each, or a completionist. We've got 18 different covers that have happened through distribution or through our releases, including this one where you can get those 18 different covers. We've had a couple people take advantage of the retailer tiers, where if you're somebody that's got a reason to put multiple copies on the shelf, there you go. You've got 5, 10, 25. We've had a couple people take advantage of those. And if you're somebody that's like, hey, these other things you're talking about, Heirs of Isildur, Tales from Nocturna, I Am Keto, I've never heard of these things. What might they be? Oh, you guys have metal music. All those things can be added onto the add-on sections. Pick a tier and then go add some stuff onto your pledge. You can go do those add-ons. So now that I've gone rapid fire through that, let's roll up here one more time. Take a refresh, see where we're at, make sure that no crazy shenanigans have happened, good, bad, and different. Okay, we're still at 30, 32, 86 backers. Good, we're where we want to be. Is there a late backer out there that wants to be the one to say they were the last one in the list? I don't know. We'll have to find out. But if we stayed at 30, 32, 86 backers, Steph, I think you'd be a happy person. I think I'd be a happy person. I can tell you that one thing we'd like to make sure everybody knows, it doesn't matter if you're a $1 backer or $100 backer or more. We rejoice just as much with every single backer that comes in, because that's somebody that is spending their time, spending their money on us. And we always want to make sure that your time and money is something that's well spent, because time is a currency you can never get back once you've spent it. And we want to make sure that we give you quality products so that way you feel like you're not just throwing money away at whatever, that you're getting something that was actually worth the dollar spent. So let's go take a quick look over here at the comments. We had a couple people comment. So we've got Mordrax Place said, Slothy has got to be my pick, no doubt. Then Richard said, Slothy McTutherson, the transporter accidentally composited the character, so he has just done a mashup of Slothy and Bruce McTutherson. I'm not sure. Let's think about that. So if Slothy and Bruce McTutherson mashed up, how would that look? Would it be the head of a shark and the butt of a sloth? Would it be a shark fin on the back of a sloth with shark teeth? How do you think that might actually work there, Steph? I'm not sure how that would go.
That always have the head of a shark, because the head of a shark is awesome. It's got the jaws.
So head of a shark, butt of a sloth, and then arms and slow moving. So it'd be the slowest moving shark attack in history.
Yep, that music would be playing a long time.
It'd be like, duh, duh. Is that the speed it would go?
Yeah.
All right. So Mordrax Place also says Flavor Flav Slothy, no questions asked. So that's his favorite variation of Slothy, is the Don't Mess With Our Crew version of Slothy. And then Kevin Davis jumps in. He's somebody that I did a live stream with early on in this campaign. And Kevin Davis, big shout out to you. Kevin Davis does some great logos for his products. He's got, Keviside is the name of your production company. Kevin has become a big fan of Misfits Clubhouse, and he has done a good job of sharing posts and helping us promote. Been super good with that. So we definitely give a lot of thanks to him for that. We've had some other people, K-Pop Junkie, that has helped to promote, had us on her show. Lori Calcaterra helped us out. We had Ed Davis. Travis Gibb had us on his creator hangout. Did a lot of there's a lot. And are we missing anybody? You know what? Now I'm like, I don't want to miss a live stream that we're on. So let me
Sarah
go look.
White, we were on her show.
Yes. How in the heck did I almost forget Sarah White? Sarah White, we're on her show. So the other day, Sarah White did so what Sarah White does is she'll talk about a movie and then they'll do a little trivia question thing at the end. And I forget what we're doing on Monday night, but I logged into Sarah's show because they wanted other people to take the thing. I didn't even know what show they were doing. Couldn't hear what was going to live stream. I just was in their little chat thing and answer questions. And somehow I got 4 questions right out of like 10, but I didn't even know what show it was. And somehow I was able to pick the right answer 4 times. So I was pretty happy about that. So let's see here. So, oh, dang, I don't even know. Sarah White. Man, was there anybody else? I feel like we had other people. Oh, dude. Anthony Castro. Anthony Castro had me on his Saturday show as well. I mean, I feel sorry about that, Anthony. Sorry about almost forget that. Anthony Castro, who's got Bad Wabbit. Bad Wabbit is out there. And Bad Wabbit, let's see if old Bad Wabbit, where they're at. I'm only saying that because Bad Wabbit ends tomorrow. And the last time I looked, Bad Wabbit had not made it to their funding goal yet. So let's see. Ooh, Bad Wabbit actually made it. Bad Wabbit, they weren't sure what was going on. Bad Wabbit made it to their funding goal. So Bad Wabbit's got 15 hours left. I guess he's going to be ending in the middle of the night. But Bad Wabbit, okay, good. So once this campaign is done, you want to go over there, take a look at Bad Wabbit's campaign, see if you can help him to have a good, strong finish. But Bad Wabbit actually made their funding goal. That's good. Because he was worried about whether or not he was going to make it. So Kevin Davis in the comments said, yes, sir, Keviside is correct. Love to support you guys. And he said that his name is Deputy Misfit. So Keviside is fantasy booking himself into the Misfits Clubhouse story. All right, so that's where we stand right now. We are at 8 minutes left in the campaign, $3,032, 86 backers, 8 minutes left. So if the campaign stays exactly where we're at, if nobody else jumps in, nobody else adds anything on, we don't add any backers, Steph, is there any thoughts you want to share about the campaign, the stories, anything that has happened that comes to your mind when it comes to us being, at this point, successfully funded campaign in Misfits Clubhouse right now?
I think everyone's going to enjoy it. They're fun stories. It is, they're not stories to be taken very seriously. They're short stories. It's a collection of short stories, so you can sit down, read a few, and then go about your day. So, it's a lot of fun.
The one thing, too, there's been people that have asked, they're like, is this a kid's book? And to that, we can confidently say no and yes. Confidently say no and yes. Yes, you can take this book and you can put it in front of your kid, and they're going to enjoy it. But yes, you can also take this book, put it in front of yourself, and we're pretty confident you're going to enjoy it. We're confident anybody of any age is going to enjoy Misfits Clubhouse. And we wrote the stories that way on purpose. We didn't, obviously there is a market for books that are like Dr. Seuss style books. There's a market for that kind of stuff. There's a market for adult animation. We didn't want to do either one of those two things. We wanted a book that was going to appeal to both sides of things. We wanted to make sure one of the things with Richard, when he basically encouraged us to do this, he was doing a line of all ages titles. He was like, look, if this is truly all ages, you want to make sure you don't have double entendres in there that are going to cause uncomfortable conversations from a kid with a parent. Hey, mommy, daddy, what does this mean? We made sure that we've kept that thought process here. That doesn't mean that there's not things that adults can enjoy. I mean, a lot of kids have never even played a pinball machine. Us adults are the ones that have played a pinball machine. We know what those pinball machines are like. So there's definitely things that adults can enjoy in the stories. They're written in a way that, you would stop and watch Looney Tunes. You'd stop and watch Toy Story. You'd stop and watch The Goonies if it's on. It's entertainment that an adult or a kid can like. That's how Misfits Clubhouse is written. The reason I like Misfits Clubhouse from a in symmetry creation standpoint is that it's so completely and totally different from everything else we do. I think that there's people out there that love our steampunk stuff with Heirs of Isildur, our medieval stuff with Tales from Nocturnia, our Far East fictional horror stuff with I Am Keto. We know there's a lot of buzz for Tatsumi the Serpent Mistress, which is our next campaign. We'll talk about that very quickly once this thing ends. There's a lot of buzz for those things, but those things are all in deep, dark fantasy kind of world. This fills a completely different gap. It shows that we can do other things. It shows that we can do quick, short stories. It shows that we can write in a way that is just silly for silly's sake, right? So I think that when like, say we're in a live show, somebody might come to our table and be like, well, what's this? What's for me? What's here for me? And somebody might be like, dude, I'm into medieval fantasy. I want to see, medieval battles and, all that kind of crazy stuff and dragons and all that. They might not even want to touch Misfits. But you might have somebody that might come up and they want to see something fun. We live in a world right now where there's a lot of crap going on, right? A lot of crap going on in our world. A lot of stuff for people to get stressed out about. Misfits is truly the thing that you can throw down on your coffee table and feel like it's safe for people to go get a smile and a laugh and just be silly. That's why I like it. Steph, if there was anybody out there right now that just so happened upon this live stream with 3 minutes left before the end of this campaign, and they're like, should I back this thing? What should I do? What would you say to them in the quickest way possible to try to convince them to back this thing right now?
It's exactly like you said. It's fun, and it's an escape from all the real world stuff, and you're gonna enjoy it.
All right, so soon, this thing is going to be counting down in seconds. Still have a little bit of time left. Still a little bit of time, but soon it's going to be counting down in mere seconds. And then we're going to be able to wrap this thing up. So Kevin also said, can't wait to read it. Hell yeah, he loves pinball. We had so much fun doing that story. Rahil had told us that because Rahil lives in India. For us, we grew up on pinball, so we know all about it, all the mechanics and all that. And Rahil said he never played a pinball machine. So when he drew Pinball Madness, it was like we were seeing the joy of a kid experiencing that or exploring that, discovering that. Oh, once he's like, oh, that's really cool. Can I put a trampoline colony here? We're like, dude, have at it. Have at it. Add a trampoline colony in there. Oh, look at that. We just had somebody increase their pledge at the last minute. So now we're at 30-40. So somebody who was in increased their pledge. So now we had a little bump there at the end. That's really good. 2 minutes left. And we're going to start counting the seconds down here in just a minute. When we are done with this, done with the countdown, we'll tell you some very quick stuff from Heirs of Isildur, which we have running. And then we're going to talk a little bit about our next title that is going to be coming out that we are so freaking stoked about, so excited. We know that it's resonating with those of you that are out there as well, because we've heard many people state that they can't wait to get their hands on Tatsumi, and we will find out here in just a minute a little more about that. But right now, we're at the very end. 30, 40, 86 backers. We're now at 88 seconds stuff. We're almost down to the last minute of the campaign. I can tell you right now, I'm going to be happy when this campaign is done, only because we ran this thing longer than we normally run campaigns. Kickstarter says 30 days. That's what people think. We feel like 16 to 17 days is the sweet spot for campaigns. This one we ran for 23 days because we did not want to have this thing end while we were at the Spookala Horror and Pop Culture Festival. That's what would have happened, because last Thursday we were there setting up at this moment 1 week ago. So we didn't want to have that happen. So we extended it extra week. Glad that we did for this one, because it really needed that extra little bump to get to where it's at. So yes, our next campaign is not going to be running. Even though it's going to be a brand new series, it's not going to be 23 days. All right, so now at 32 seconds, we are stoked to be where we're at. We are happy about where we're at. 21 seconds left. 19. Steph, when we get to 10, do you want to do the countdown? All right, there we go. Start to count down. Do it. You count it down.
Okay.
7, 6,
4, 3, 2, 1.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. I just played the trumpet. Okay. So, campaign for Misfits Clubhouse has completed. I can tell you, one of the things that we always think about the pitchers, when a pitcher's about to have a no-hitter, nobody talks about being a no-hitter. Earlier in the campaign, we had one person cancel their pledge. One person canceled their pledge earlier in the campaign. That was it. We did not have anybody else cancel their pledge, didn't have anybody decrease their pledge in an entire campaign. That's pretty insane. I think that that's pretty freaking wild. So thank you to everybody out there, to everybody that backed the campaign. Thank you guys for supporting this title that's now 100 pages, 11 stories. Really, really thankful for all that. So with that being said, the next thing that's going to happen from this, you're going to get some communication from us about what the next steps are. Kickstarter is going to try to, they're going to try to run your credit cards. If your credit card doesn't go through, it's going to give you a couple of days to try to fix that card. And it happens. You could change banks. You could have a card that went bad. You could have a card that expired. You could have whatever it may be. Maybe you overdrew your card. You don't have enough money in your bank or something like that. If it doesn't work, you'll have a couple days to fix it. Once we get to a week from now is when Kickstarter will start kicking people off the campaign. Once we know who all of our physical backers are going to be, then Steph and I will jump back on here with another live stream. We'll pull out the top hat. We'll put all our physical backers in there. We'll find out which one of you out there that backed this campaign physically is going to get your hands on a $60 Peter Raimundo Bruce McTooth metal cover. I think that's going to be a great addition to anybody's repertoire. I know there's people out there like I can tell you right now, if I wasn't making comics, I don't think I'd go out and buy a metal cover. That's just not what I do. I'm not a collector at that level. But I would, if somebody gave me a metal cover I wanted, I would definitely put it on a place and display it with joy and glee. I know that there's a lot of people there, money's tight. Maybe they might want a metal cover and they didn't get a chance to get one. So all you physical backers out there are going to have a chance to be able to get yourself that metal cover added on for free. You might have just paid $25 with shipping, and you might end up with an $85 haul. That's pretty dang cool. So that's where we're at on Misfits Clubhouse. We do expect that this is going to be a pretty quick turnaround between finishing the campaign and having it go through the printer, because there's only a few things that need to get redone at the end. There's a couple stories we're trying to finish off the colors. We have to finish off the story the one-page story that we created for this issue during the campaign. We have to get everybody's survey sent out to them so we can get their campaign names, so we can get a page with your name on the thank you list in the campaign. And then we're going to get a quick turnaround on that, because we have some stuff we want to do in the month of June where we're going to need some Misfits Clubhouse. Isn't that right, Steph? Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, let's talk really quick about two quick things, and then I know both of us need to get out of here because we need to eat. So, quickly, Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects Book 4. Not only is Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects Book 4 at the printers, all the proofs were approved that are at the printers. We actually reviewed them while we were at Spookalla. We took some time out after hours to review the proofs. So those things are in print, in production. And then the very last thing we needed to get for that, which was the metal trading cards that we did with Richard Rivera and Stabity Bunny with the Stabity Ever After issue. We just got word back today that those are printed, those are done, those have been shipped out from our metal trading card printer. So that's the last of the things that need to get sent out. So that campaign is about to be finished, about to have all the items in here, so we can get that stuff out so that we can have it shipped out hopefully before Steph and I take our happy little butts to Free Comic Book Day coast to coast. Steph, do you want to tell people where you are going to be at on Free Comic Book Day?
I'll be at my LCS, Collector's Choice in Visalia, California, on Free Comic Book Day, which is Saturday, May 3rd, and starting at 10 and going till probably 1 or 2.
And I will be at Bearded Browncoat Comics and Games in Ocala, Florida. This is something I've got running. I've done this quite a few times over at Bearded Browncoat. We're going to be hopefully also debuting not just Perilous Prospects 4, but Bearded Browncoat did a store exclusive cover. And so hopefully we'll have that stuff in time. And the store version, some people actually backed that store cover during the campaign, but the store quantity of those numbers 1 through 10 will actually be on the shelf, hopefully during Free Comic Book Day, which would be freaking awesome. So, real quick before we get out of here, let's talk about what our next campaign is going to be. Pretty crazy that we are now at a point where Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, is our next Kickstarter campaign. So, Steph, is there anything you want to say really quick before I keep running my yapper about Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, that has you excited about this title?
It's swashbuckling adventure. It's a little piratey. It's a little female heroine adventure. I think people are going to really like it.
Yeah, when we did, I don't know why that page is closed, but we did I Am Keto, our fictional Far East fantasy horror story. We said that Keto's story in the fictional, in that era in the Yarmard Empire would be complete at the end of that book, which it is. Keto is a pivotal character now. Excuse me one second. Keto is a pivotal character in Heirs of Isildur, The Perilous Prospects. We did not say that the story in that environment was going to be finished. Tatsumi was able to somehow survive. Tatsumi is one of the main characters in that story, along with Keto. You had Keto, his brother Kenji. Their two lifelong friends, Tatsumi and Mayu, were the main characters in that book. And somehow Tatsumi also made it through to the end of that book. So we're exploring Tatsumi's life and times after that point. Tatsumi is where the story goes is not where you would expect to start. As Steph said, it is a swashbuckling adventure. One thing that we do in this, we're not used to normally outside of Misfits Clubhouse, we normally don't make comic-sized issues. Imagine that. So Tatsumi is going to be normal comic-sized issue. They're not going to be perfect bound with a spine, small books like Heirs of Isildur. They're going to be regular comics, 32-page issues at most. And Tatsumi is going to take you into a swashbuckling pirate adventure. As you can see from her image, Tatsumi is definitely not in a Far East kind of outfit. She's in more of a pirate outfit. Two things we can promise you is in this first issue, you're going to find out why Tatsumi is in this outfit. You're also going to find out why she is called the Serpent Mistress. That is not just two random words that we have thrown together. There's a very good reason as to why she is Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, and it really helps to drive the story. We say for this one, if you've never heard of Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, imagine Pirates of the Caribbean and the live-action One Piece meeting your favorite martial arts heroine. Steph mentioned it. This is our first story where the main character is absolutely, positively a female. We've had stories that have had a male lead. We've had stories where there is an ensemble cast, but this is the first series that we have where there is going to be a strong female lead. We've had strong female characters, a lot of strong female characters. Merc, Natasha Hemlock, Syndrome, Tatsumi. We've had the Stable Maidens from Tales from Nocturnia. You've even got Miki in Misfits Clubhouse. But this is the very first time you're going to have a strong female lead that is the unquestionable lead in the story. One of the great things about this story is that we are going to be able to start unveiling some brand new characters very soon. We're going to start probably next week with our very first character unveils for Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress. And it's going to be, I can't freaking wait. This is going to be a series. This is not a quick one shot. Going to be a series, and we are already working deeply into issue 2 right now. We are deep into issue 2. That just goes to show how far out we have this planned. We say talking about issue 2, we're talking about with the artist and the plotting and the planning. We've even got a band signed up to make a cameo appearance. An entire band is going to make a cameo appearance in issue 2, but that is issue 2. Issue 1 in and of itself is I freaking love issue 1 so much. Definitely love issue 1 so much. Can't wait to be able to finally start unveiling some of that stuff. Anyways, with that being said, Steph, is there anything else that you want to say about Tatsumi, the Serpent Mistress, issue 1, before we head on out of here for the evening?
I think we pretty much summed it up. I think people are going to love it.
All right, so with that being said, we are going to get out of here. Thank you all so much for supporting our silliness that is Misfits Clubhouse. All the shenanigans so far took a long time to actually make it out here into the world. We know that it's not into the world yet, but this is the closest it's ever been to actually being in your hands. And we are so thankful that you guys have waited patiently. Some people waited impatiently, which is even better, to get this book into your hands. We know you're going to like it. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate your support. So on behalf of Miami Vice Heat Hat wearing Steph Cannon, my name is Matt Knowles, and also on behalf of Bruce McTutherson, Aquatic Investigator, we're in Symmetry Creations. We thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you guys so much for supporting this campaign, and we will see you next time.